Okay, we're back on filming. And Wake 24 classroom/shop at our Delta Unisaw 10-inch table saw. We just cut a rabbet joint, which is a great way to join two pieces of any kind of stock. For plywood, it's an absolutely essential joint, but like I said, it shows some of the end grain of the plywood if that shows that part of the joint. So you're going to make a joint. We're now going to make a joint that doesn't show any of the, oh yeah, good. It doesn't show any of the plywood. And it's called a 30-degree miter joint. 30-degree miter joint. Now, to heal this over, I might have to expand this. God dang it. Yeah, I am going to have to expand it. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to take it up. Turn it on. Start cranking it over. Over on this side of the saw is the arbor tilt adjustment. And I'm tilting it. To 30 degrees. So it slightly lifted my insert out, which is not good. So, shoot. I'm gonna crank the blade down. Put the miter back in it. Put it all the way, get it all the way down. Heck. Okay. I'm gonna have to take it back to 90 from 30. I should have done this before, but I didn't. Coulda, shoulda, woulda, right? So let's get this baby on there. And then let's put the fence over it so it can't go away. Now I'm gonna start it up again. And I'm gonna crank it up. And I'm gonna crank it over to 30. Dust out of there. If I was going to be making much more dust, I would I'd have a dust mask on. I don't know where that stuff came from. But I need some alcohol wipes. Get this stuff off my hands. Okay. Hello. Now, first thing we're going to do is we're going to crank this blade up. So it, crud. I think I got to crank it up a little bit more. Do that on that side. Yeah, okay. So I needed to be able to cut this piece and put a 30-degree edge on it. So in the meantime, I'm going to crank this up a little bit more. Start it up. Okay. Okay. So let's see. Let's make sure this is going to work. Yeah, that new insert's a little problematic. Get that to stay down. It's important that it stays down. Down. Yeah, okay. Okay, that's going to be okay, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it down with a fence, and I'm going to use the miter guide, which I have had adjusted to 90, and I'm going to trust it that it's 90. And I'm going to take the other end of the board that we put the rabbited shoulder in. No, I take it back. I'm going to do this end of a brand new clean board, and I'm going to go ahead and put a 30-degree cut on it. Okay, here we go. I turned the saw with my leg. Could be worse. Okay. Here's what I just did. I put a 30-degree edge on that bevel. Now, it doesn't matter in this joint if you do 29, 28, 27 degrees, 31, but I did dial it into 30. 30 is what you want to dial it into, but anything will work, anything close to that. 30 degrees, right? There's our 30-degree angle cut. We did that by setting the arbor tilt on the side of the saw to 30 degrees. And at one point I may walk around the saw and show you a couple things like where that is. But at this point, what we want now is we're going to have a joint that has a mitered edge, so we're not going to show any plywood, is we're going to create a shoulder on this board. Okay? Now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut and bring this to a point. That's right, to a point. And here's what I mean by that. I'm going to take this guy right here, and I'm going to cut, because this is the piece that's going to lay on it in the shoulder miter I'm going to cut. I want to cut to that exact depth. So with the blade at 30 degrees, no changing the blade whatsoever, we're going to drop the blade height off the table to the outside, the highest set of the tooth of that alternating top bevel that's the highest, and we're going to set it to that depth right there. Okay, for what I can see, that's good. And we're going to do a test piece first. This is what we're cutting. Here's our test piece. Yeah, we can cut that. Yeah, okay. So we're going to move this guy over to really close to that, super close to it, all right? So we're going to start our first cut. I need to get it right to the edge. Right to the edge. So I got to move the fence a little closer. That's pretty damn good. Let's say that's a knife edge right there. Yep. And I'm going to use that setting. Now, before I use that setting, I'm going to make sure my depth is right by measuring 44/64 thick piece that's going to fit into my joint. So that's how thick the piece was, right? That's also the same distance. I like it. Okay, I like it. Okay, here we go. Okay, there's that cut. That cut. Just knife edge, right? 30 degrees at that edge, and this, the cut, the length of the cut or the depth of the cut on the angle is as deep as the material I want to sit on the shoulder. Now, I'm going to create the shoulder by, and by the way, test pieces. Just be sure and have a test piece when you're doing joints on the table saw, or virtually anywhere. Have a piece that's your test piece. Okay, so you can do all your adjustments on your test piece, which is a piece of waste stock, right? And you won't really need it in the end, but it'll tell you what adjustments you have to make without using your real piece of wood. I don't know if I said that completely right, but I think you all got it. I hope you did anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and move the fence away. I'm going to crank the blade back to 90 from the arbor tilt wheel on the side. And there's an indicator, there's an arrow as it sweeps along and gets closer to back to zero. I don't know if you guys can see the blade from where you are, but the blade's coming back to zero, and the positive stops are set on this too, 0, and I trust it. I don't know why, I don't know who's been using this saw. Set that at 0. Now I'm going to set the depth of cut. I'm going to set based on the cut I already have made to create the shoulder. Okay, let's try that. And then this cut, is the thickness. Let's go ahead and start with our test piece and see how it is. Okay, hard to see here, but I think yeah, we're a little deep. We're a little deep that way, so let's do it, gang. Let's do it. Okay? This is our real piece. Here we go. And again, don't have anybody standing behind the saw, because this is what they'll get embedded in them. And there's your shoulder miter joint. Miter, 30-degree miter. Shoulder miter. See that? It's a good looking joint. It's got tons of glue surface, way more than a butt joint. It has a shoulder to index this miter. You know when you do a 45-degree miter, they slide off each other? This one's index. You can nail it through the side or through the top. And it's a clean mitered edge. 30-degree miter joint. What do you think? Not bad, eh? Love this. I love this joint. So those are the two table saw joints I wanted to show you, and I'm going to stop this video right now and see if I can't get it uploaded to YouTube.